In today's video, I made a flamingo-inspired bedroom in Bloxburg. Hey glossettes, welcome back. How are you guys doing today? Now, if you've ever watched Roblox videos on YouTube before, I think it's pretty certain you've probably watched or at least heard of the Roblox YouTuber Flamingo. Because let's be real, he's like the best one out there, okay? I'm nearly 21 years old and I still watch his videos because they're just funny. So in today's video, we're actually going to be making a Bloxburg bedroom, but it's going to be themed around Flamingo, and I'm going to be cramming as many Flamingo references in this thing as possible. So let's get straight onto the build plans. The room we're going to be building in today is pretty simple. It's just kind of like a 5x5 room with some windows in it and also a closet space for clothes, or you know, the skeletons in his closet. I've also come up with a few ideas, so the main thing I 100% know I want to do is like a flamingo style bed. It started off with me wanting just to have like flamingo wings on it, but I think I'm gonna try and make his exact kind of logo here, and that's kind of like the main feature of the room. However, I also want to do like some drawers on one side that have posters above them, kind of featuring like old flamingo characters. I'm thinking like Tiffany Mayume, green screen man, stuff like that. Then the drawers themselves will have kind of like little memorabilia things on the top. Honestly, I haven't quite worked out what I'm going to be adding yet. Then on this wall, I want to have a desk and like a PC set up, a flim flam neon sign somewhere, and maybe a couch with kind of like some cool custom pillows that somehow have references in them. Maybe some plushies of some characters there. I don't have a ton of specific designs yet except for the bed, but yeah, we are just going to try and make everything in here a reference to something. I was talking to some of my staff about this as well, and they suggested trying to do kind of like those Tyler the Creator skateboard things he has, but I think the most important thing to start with is the bed, especially because it's going to take me ages to figure out how to make this thing, and that is what we're going to do first. So I put on some emotional support music and got to work, and you bet I was time-lapsing this part because there was no way anything I could say whilst building this was going to make any sense at all. I had no idea what I was doing or if this would work well, but I started by making the simple base for it with a basic shape cube and some basic shape kind of round pieces to make the body of the flamingo, and then decided to bite the bullet and just try and make the head straight away, which was by far going to be the most difficult part in this. I made the rough shape of it with cylinders and a neck shape with kind of square structural pieces. Then for the heart shape the flamingo has on its face, I tried to piece this together with more like cylinders and structurals. Also, by the way, if you can tell, I did flip the flamingo image around so it was facing the other way, and honestly, I don't know why I did that. I just kind of wanted it to be facing that way. In my original sketches, before I kind of decided to use his exact logo, I had the head kind of facing that way, so I just kind of wanted to stick with that for some reason. Anyways, this bit on the face took so long to make, but it was looking pretty good so far. So after that was done, I then used a sphere to make the two little strands of hair on his head, and then moved on to one of the bits I was dreading the most, which was the beak. I decided I wanted to use spheres for this bit too, so I kind of sat there trying to piece it together for ages and get the pose as accurate as possible. It didn't look the best at this stage, but I do end up adding the kind of cartoony outline of the image around the entire thing later, which does make it look a bit better because you can kind of see the expression more. But once it was done, I moved on to the eyes, using more squares and curved bits as the bottom of the eyes need to be flat. I used structural rods to kind of make like the eyelash bits and the angry eyebrows, but I realized they were too long, so I ended up using the side of these instead to be able to make it smaller and more detailed. And then I repeated the same thing for the eye on the other side too, and honestly, it was looking pretty good. I was shocked it wasn't looking absolutely horrific at this stage. Once the face was kind of done, I moved on to the wings, and I did use kind of like square structurals to start off with, just to try and get a base shape for them. I didn't really know what I was doing at this point, but then I was like, why don't I just use the spheres that I used for the beak? Like, that would be so much easier, and I felt like it could actually look like a wing texture. Plus, because it was the same material I used for the beak and the hair, it would match that nicely where it's more 3D than the rest of the design and kind of tie it in more. So I did the right wing with this technique and then copied and pasted it over to the left side, and then did a few adjustments just so it matched up nicely, and honestly, it was looking really good. I then added some star pillows for the stars you see in his profile, and finally I decided to add the cartoon outline around everything. So for this, I just used a small round structural rod again and went around the entire thing, outlining the parts that were outlined in the profile image. It definitely improved some of the shape and kind of like the facial expression. However, this took literally an hour, maybe an hour and a half. It was so hard to do, especially as the shape was like really awkward in some places, and obviously you can only make Bloxburg structurals like a specific length. You can't make them very small, which is kind of annoying. But once it was all done, I added some more feathers on the headboard and the baseboard, added some feet until I realized they were really ugly, We got rid of the feet and that was pretty much it. And this is what we're up to now. So this is what the bed looks like, all complete. I think this looks really cute. I colored the kind of like blankets and stuff to kind of match the color of his shirt in the image, but we are going to add some different pillows and decorations later. I've kind of just kept it like that for now. Also, this thing is so tall that I had to extend the ceiling. Like, you see the top of these windows? This is where the walls end for the first floor, and then the bit above this is the second floor walls. So I had to make it higher just to make sure the top of this didn't kind of hit the ceiling. But I think the high ceiling looks pretty nice. Also, I just added kind of like some drawers and a desk to mark out where they're gonna go. I think I'm gonna make some custom ones, so those ones aren't gonna stay, but yeah, that's kind of like the rough placement. Oh, and the bedside table. It's now time to actually kind of decorate the rest of the room, and I am kind of nervous. My brain is going blank right now. So I know I want to have like little memorabilia things and posters, so I think we're just gonna start over here. The first thing I'm gonna do is add some posters on the wall. I am planning on making kind of like custom ones where it's like all the characters from his previous videos, but I haven't made any of those yet, so we're just gonna kind of have to leave the space for now. Oh, what I really want to do is make kind of like you know, his Cletus kind of weird farmer outfit. I want to make a little plushie of that, you know, like his U2s, which I actually bought the U2s he released like years ago for my brother, because both of us have been fans of Flamingo for like years. I think maybe since his first channel, but yeah, I got him the little Cletus plush like ages ago. I also have one of his Flim Flam hoodies, and I'm not one to buy kind of like YouTube merch. Like, I never really buy stuff from YouTubers, but his merch is so good. Like, unironically, it looks so good, the designs. I have the cherub one because I really like kind of like cherub things. I don't know, I just like stuff like that. It's so cute. However, the only problem is I got the junior one, like the kid size one, for whatever reason, and now my head like doesn't fit in it. So I've stopped wearing it out of the pure fear my head is gonna get stuck in there. But yeah, his merch is really good. I really wanted to buy the kind of like casino line he recently did, but because I'm English, the shipping is like $40, and I genuinely cannot bring myself to do that 2 times. Okay, you know what I'm gonna have to do? I genuinely can't remember any of like the references and stuff I wanted to put in here, so what I'm gonna do is go and kind of like make a list of different things that would be cool to add in, and then work out how I could do it, and then I'll be back when I have more of an idea, because I'm just kind of sat like circling around the room. I've added 2 posters and like a basic shape on the drawer, and that's it. I need to do more planning for this. Okay, I'm back. It's the next day now. I feel more prepared to build. I did some, I guess, Flamingo research earlier. And by that, I mean I watched a couple of his videos, and I also watched this, I can't remember who it's by, but it was basically a video on like all of his old characters, which was really good. Why do I feel like this desk is really long? But yeah, that was actually pretty helpful to kind of just watch and recap on most of his old characters. So what we're gonna do is build on this wall over here, kind of like his desk setup. I want to have like a PC and stuff like that. I also think I'm gonna try and build the skateboard kind of like hanging above this area on this wall here, and then of course we're gonna have like a neon sign here as well, which is gonna be pretty fun to make. I haven't made one in a while, but we just need to make kind of like a simple PC setup. I might use like this one or something. Can I color the neon? Oh my gosh, I can. Wait, I've never used this item before, I'm just realizing. Also, I don't know what wood color to use. I kind of like the kind of more orangey wood like this. We're gonna put a little frame here as well of his true love, Dennis Daly. And I also want to have like a Felipe head here, like sat on the desk, because I kind of feel like we need to put one of those somewhere. And I think a can of beans here, or at least somewhere, because he has a weird thing with beans, okay? If you've seen his Instagram, you know what I mean. It makes me very uncomfortable because I actually have like a kind of fear of baked beans. I do not like them at all. But yeah, I feel like we kind of need to at least honor that somewhere. Also, I really wish we had a full-size beanbag. We only have the kid ones and they're tiny. Like, I really wanted to have one in this corner, but that looks so ridiculous. But yeah, the plan is to have kind of like, you know what? I'm just gonna kind of add basic shapes where they need to go for the wall items. So over here, I want to have like a play button somewhere, probably in this space. I don't know. This wall is bigger than I thought it was gonna be, but what I really want to do quickly is build the skateboard kind of shape, because I think what we're gonna do is build it out of basic shapes and then kind of like add a decal on top which has the actual images, because there's no way I'm gonna be able to recreate the album cover. But yeah, to make the skateboard, I'm just gonna add a basic shape cube and then basic shape cylinders either side like this, and then I'm also gonna put some wheels on it, but I might wait until we have the decal on. Okay, this kind of looks like a really short skateboard, but this is gonna go here. Oh yeah, yeah, I want to put a couch over here, but I'm not too sure which one to use. I was maybe thinking this one, but I feel like this looks absolutely ginormous. We need like a cool kind of couch. Maybe this one. I'm gonna make it that color for now. That's kind of ugly, but it just matches the bedding. But then we're gonna have like a flim flam neon sign here in a second. Okay, you know what? Let's do the neon sign now. So I'm gonna use these horizontal neon lights and try and piece one together. And we're just gonna try and write the words flim flam and kind of make it look cool. Also, I feel like I forgot to say at the start of this video, I'm hoping to make this into a series, kind of doing like different YouTubers, but I don't know. This is kind of like the test one to see if you guys would like it. I did actually do this series, well, one episode of it in like 2023, like years ago, with Robuilds. She was kind of like the first one I did because she was the only, I think she was one of the only YouTubers I kind of had on Discord at the time. So I used her for it because I was like, okay, this is great. I can actually get her to like come and tour it. But then I stopped doing it. So now this is kind of like a trial run. So let me know if you guys kind of enjoy this. And if you want to see other YouTubers, let me know who else you'd want to see kind of like be made into a room. I feel like it could be a fun series. Okay, this is not looking good already. You know what I really wish they'd do? I wish they'd take these little end cap things off the neon signs because you can't even color them properly. So they just stand out so much. But yeah, I kind of want this to be like, kind of like a sketchy look to it, but it's not looking good. I may have to use a different neon sign method. Let me get rid of all of this. We could use the neon sign method where you use like a decal, but I don't know. I was hoping to kind of do it out of these parts. Okay, I'm gonna have one more attempt and see if I can make this look good. Because what you can also do is you can transform these because they're technically a structural. So we could do this and just put them together so it looks like a kind of thicker bit of neon, and maybe that'll just look a bit nicer if it's kind of more neat. I feel like I'm gonna run out of space on this wall. Anyways, doing this video has really made me kind of want to watch old Flamingo videos again because I used to love the Robloxian high school ones. They were some of my favorite ones he ever did. Like, you know, Earthworm Sally and Sammy the Strawberry and that rat thing. Like, they were so good. Like, I really miss that era of Flamingo videos and also just like Roblox in general. I feel like 2018, 2019 was one of like the best times, especially on Robloxian high school. Like that game now, last time I went on and checked, it feels like more of like an Adopt Me game now. Very cartoony. It doesn't really have like the same style it used to, which kind of sucks. I feel like we need more games that are like not modern and cartoony and stuff like that and full of like massive kind of pop-up things. Okay, wait, this is actually looking pretty good. Also, is anyone else really excited for the Roblox event? Like the oh, what's it called? The Mega Hunt? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like the prize for the event is $1 million, which is crazy. I think it works out as like 783,000 in UK pounds, but it's such a large amount of money. Like the last thing I expected from them was an event with like a real life prize, but I don't know how to feel about it because I feel like if you don't look at the prize money, it's still not what the community wants. Like I still really want an egg hunt, but I guess $1 million is fine. I will be participating in trying and get it, but I don't have high hopes. If it's anything like the Ready Player One event, there is absolutely no way I will get anywhere close to top 10. That event, oh my god, the Ready Player One event upset me so much as a child because I was like 12 or 13 when it came out, because that was years ago. If you don't know what it was, the movie Ready Player One kind of like collabed with Roblox. Okay, wait, this sign is not working on the bottom. Anyways, they kind of collabed with Roblox and did this huge event where you had to do all these quests and stuff to get like these keys, and like the first person to do this entire event got this really cool Dominus that was like the only one in the entire game. And I tried to do that event and I did not even get the first key. I did not get the bronze key and I was so upset. Like I spent like 3 days trying, following the jailbreak tutorials on YouTube to do it, but I couldn't rob a train. Like I just sucked at the game and I literally, after 3 days, I just cried and gave up. Like I was so annoyed. But yeah, if it's anything like that, I'm hoping my Roblox skills have kind of, you know, improved a little bit. But it's crazy. Like imagine competing in a Roblox event and winning that much money. And also they get to go to America, so it's like the top 10 people in the event, they get to fly out there and then they compete in like a live stream thing to win the $1 million, which is so cool. I feel like we're probably gonna see like some YouTubers in the top 10, or at least one. I think at least one YouTuber will make it. I wonder if there'll be like a Roblox item as well, kind of like on top of the $1 million prize, like a exclusive Roblox item for the winners. And like also, what will the top 10, like the other top 10 that don't win, the top 9, will they win anything else? Like, or do they just, if they lose, they lose? Because obviously there's gonna be the top 10 that fly out. I wonder if like the other ones get any prizes. Oh my god, this sign is driving me crazy. There's like not enough space. I should have moved this up. I don't know whether to move this further up the wall or if then it'll look too high, or maybe we just keep it saying flim. Can I just leave it like that? No, but then that looks awkward weirdly placed. Okay, I'm gonna have to adjust that a bit. Oh yeah, on the outside, I was thinking we can kind of add like some trees and bushes just so it doesn't look as kind of empty from inside. But what I forgot we had, and I can't even find them. Hang on. Oh no, here they are. Okay, so we have Mr. Flamingo and then Mrs. Flamingo. So we could have like these outside of the window. I think that's kind of cute. They kind of remind me of like Romeo and Juliet, you know, the flamingos in that movie. Oh my god, he's got a mustache. I never even noticed that. I've never noticed that before. Okay, he's kind of creepy now I'm looking at him. Anyways, back to working out how to do this neon sign. I'm gonna have to adjust it all. Once I finished the second attempt at the neon sign, I realized I hated it. Like, it just didn't look right. So I got rid of it again and moved on to making a PC under the desk out of some basic shapes. And then I also made like a microphone out of structurals and basic shapes too, just to make the PC area a bit more realistic and YouTubery. Then I added a can of beans on the desk, as well as attempting to make like a little kind of Cletus statue similar to a U2's figure. I did actually try and make a Felipe head before this, but it turned out awful. It genuinely gave me nightmares. But the Cletus figure actually turned out pretty cute after 2 attempts, so that was pretty cool. Then I added some star pillows onto the couch to match the ones kind of near the flamingo bed on the wall. And I started my 3rd attempt at a decent neon sign. However, this time I was using a slightly different method. Oh my god, my cat's meowing whilst I do this. Okay, anyways, which is the decal method. So I added a hole in the wall and then I put in some lights. And then how you do this trick is you make a decal that is transparent in the shape of whatever word you want the sign to say. So I made this flim flam design using my iPad in the shape of one of his merch logos, so I kind of just traced over that. Then I added this into Roblox and I put this on a transparent decal in the game, and then I added this over the top of the lights, and it actually looks so cute and so much neater than the other one, thank goodness. Then I started experimenting with some more neon using the rods that was kind of like in the form of like squiggly lines on the wall, but something was just off about this whole thing and I couldn't work out what it was until I tried painting the walls black, similar to what his office looks like, and then I realized everything just looks so much better like that. All the colorful wall decorations just pop so much nicer, so I made the walls around the room black, excluding the one that the bed was on, so that kind of stayed blue like the profile picture, and the neon just looks so good against the dark background. Then I actually used the star pillows to kind of add these onto the ceiling, kind of like those glow-in-the-dark stars you used to have in your room as a kid, I guess, kind of like scattered across the ceiling. And then after that I started making a green screen man plushie on the couch, and when that was done I added another one next to it, which was in the shape of that rat from one of his Robloxian high school videos. Then I added some nicer pillows on the bed, as well as attempting to make a Sammy the Strawberry plushie, which looked really creepy. The teeth were pretty hard to do. I did end up moving the green screen man plushie onto the bed instead, and then in its place on the couch I made a worm for Earthworm Sally. I feel like I'm saying this all so quickly. Anyways, Earthworm Sally has a banging theme tune, may I just say. But yeah, I did a couple other things too, but that was pretty much it. Honestly, I think we might be nearly done. We have a few more things to build, well, kind of one that I can think of, but I've added a few other things. So over here we're gonna have kind of like these road signs that he has in his room because one of my staff members said I should put this in. So we have those. Down here I added a lava lamp just because I thought it would kind of match the neon on this side, and we also have a blue kind of cube lamp, and this is because it kind of reminds me of the like Roblox admin kind of cube where you can move things around in game with it. I'm pretty sure Flamingo used to use these a lot when he was like building stupid things in like Life in Paradise or whatever, where Flamingo would use admin to kind of have those like giant scary faces in buildings and stuff. This is what he would use, so I've added that, and I might even put the text on it as well if I can kind of fit the decal small enough so we have like a little cube nightlight. I added a skateboard down here, not really much going on with that, but yeah, everything is looking pretty good. What we're gonna do now is actually build over here because I want to add his Bloxie award kind of on the drawers and maybe something else as well, and then after that's done I genuinely have no idea what else to do, so I think I'm gonna go and do the decals after that, and that might be it. We might be ready for like a final tour. I feel like I need something in this corner, but I just can't think of anything. Anyways, let's get started on the little award thing. I'm gonna show you guys what it actually looks like. So these are what they look like in Roblox, but then they also get like a real life one as well. And you can see from this picture here, this is apparently what Albert did with his. So we're just gonna use the Roblox one as like a reference. So it's basically like a little Roblox character holding the Roblox logo with some wings. So we're gonna see if I can make this. So we're gonna use a cylinder for kind of like the base. I don't know how big I'm gonna make it, maybe slightly bigger than it kind of like actually would be, just so it takes up a good amount of space on the drawers. We're gonna just use cylinders to make the avatar on it. I don't know how well this is gonna go. Honestly, I've kind of struggled to build this build. Like I haven't really liked it. I think when the neon sign started to go wrong and then like the Felipe head I tried to build, like everything just started to look bad and I was like, okay, I kind of don't like this. It's okay now. I kind of feel like I fixed it to a point where I like it, but still for ages I just kind of really didn't like this build for most of the day. For most of the build process I haven't really really liked it. Like, I don't know how to feel about it. I think it's probably because I've just been staring at it for so long. Okay, let me add some arms. Why is it so round? A little arm here, one here. Okay, we need a little head. Oh, this is huge. This is kind of giving it's kind of giving Regain Riot. Oh my gosh, how am I gonna make the wings? I don't even know. Okay, this can be the head. I feel like this is so round. And then for the wings, I'm just gonna use the same kind of sphere kind of shape. It's kind of just like a mini version of the wings on the bed, actually. Okay, there we go. And now what we need to do is add a little kind of square for the Roblox logo. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make this like the actual kind of shape with the hole in the middle, so a singular square is good enough. Actually, I think we could. I think we could add something in the middle so it kind of resembles it more, but we're just gonna put this here so I can hold on to that. And then, in fact, if I use this and just make this like a darker kind of shade, we can then add this in the middle. There we go. That's kind of like the Roblox logo. And there we go. This is my mini Bloxie award. Very simple. It's kind of cute, actually. I kind of like it. Is there anything else we can put on the drawers? Honestly, I feel like I've run out of ideas. Like, I don't know what other Flamingo references I can add. I'm trying to find something else we could do. This makes me realize how weird his thumbnails are. We could do like the content deleted symbol. Like, it's like a little kind of plaque thing in memory of all the deleted Roblox games he's made. Like, if we kind of have this here, hang on, let me try and see if I can somehow recreate the symbol. There we go. We've got like the little shape of it, and then what we can do is when I do all the decals, I can add like a decal of the symbol in the middle. So that's kind of like a thing to fill up the space. Okay, I think that's kind of cute. Oh yeah, I had to change the placement of these and kind of rotate them because I realized they wouldn't work on their sides. But is there anything else? I still feel like we need something in this gap, but I have no idea. I've been looking for like furniture or something we could add, but I just don't know. You know what? We're just gonna add a little kind of buffet thing there. Like that. There we go. Just a random little decoration. We could even make another plushie to kind of sit on that, but I just don't know what character to do. Okay, I genuinely can't think of anything else to add, so what I'm gonna do is go around and add all the decals and make some posters and stuff like that, and just finish off any kind of like small details I think of, and that is pretty much it. I will see you guys for the final tour. I feel like this went from being really unfinished to finished very quickly. So the room's finally all done and we are gonna take a look. It's always so funny how like ugly these builds look from the outside, but we are gonna head inside and here we have the finished room. Anyways, if we start over here, we have our drawers. So we have our Bloxie award over here, the content deleted kind of little statue thing, and then we have some posters. Honestly, I struggled so much with ideas for these, so I basically just did one of them is his YouTube's character on a little poster, and then we have this one, which is one I quickly drew myself. So it's the bots from his oil or boil raid with like flames behind them. So yeah, I just did a quick little drawing for that one. Then of course we have the skateboard over here and the closet, which I actually forgot to furnish. So if you just yeah, this is the only thing in here. Anyways, moving on, we have my favorite part of the room, which is the bed. I feel like this is the coolest part. Probably took me the longest as well. I'm so proud of the flamingo. And then we have obviously green screen man plushie and Sammy the strawberry, all the stars going up the ceiling, and then over here we have the little road sign things as well. And I did actually end up putting the decals on this, so we have like a building tools nightlight, which I think is pretty cool. This is such a short tour because it's only one room, but then over here we have our windows. I added some blue and pink curtains to tie into the colors as well. And then over here we have the PC setup, so we have a little Cletus U2's kind of figure. We have a picture of Dennis Daly. We have the PC, we have a can of beans, a microphone, and then over here this is another poster I made. So I just tried to make like a poster, and I tried to make this like a movie poster of Tiffany Mayume's Revenge, which I think looks pretty cool. And then we have the skateboards, which actually looks so cute. So I managed to make the decals to kind of fit perfectly, and then I added some basic shape wheels, and yeah, I think it looks really good. We have the play button, and then down here I made a little flamingo plushie just because I felt like this space needed something. Then finally over here we have our couch area with the neon sign, and honestly I was looking at this because I sent a picture of this into a server because I was like, oh my gosh guys, look at this kind of cool neon sign I've made. And then it hit me that it just looks like a decal. Like, it doesn't look like there's an actual light behind it. It just looks like a picture. So I feel like I went through a lot of effort for nothing, but I think it's pretty cool. So we have that, we have Ratatouille and Earthworm Sally and just a little space to sit down, and that is pretty much it. That is my flamingo themed room. I think it's pretty cool. I think this is definitely, like I said, my favorite area, but let me know down below what you guys think, of course. And of course let me know if you'd like to see any other YouTuber kind of themed rooms. But yeah, that is it for today's video. As usual, all my channel members, Nitro boosters, and real life merch buyers will be on screen now. Thank you so much for joining the channel, boosting the Discord server, and buying the merch. I love you all. And in general, I love you all so much, glossettes. XOXO, Glossie Girl.